Good morning, market snipers. Welcome back. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We're going to get this going. We have a lot of charts to cover. Bitcoin still bullish on the weekly chart. Had a buy signal 2 days ago on the daily chart. Bitcoin dominance continues to increase. We put out a chart, back in April after hitting target 1 of the longer term targets. And now it's inching closer to target 3. So we'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Of course, the NASDAQ is the bounce over. There are signs of weakness continuing to happen, but we're going to continue to watch it, cover it daily, stream by stream, day by day. Here we go. Welcome back, everyone. And the first 15, 30 minutes, if you're new to the channel, we're going to cover the important charts that I think, that covers the markets, Bitcoin, NASDAQ, SP 500, Russell 2000, Dow Jones, Magnificent 7, which consists of Apple, all that, right? US 10-year yield continues to increase, 2.15%. We're going to look at all of it. And if you become a subscriber, then what you can do is comment in the comment section what asset you'd like me to chart for you, and I'll chart it for you live on the live stream. Awesome. Let's jump right in. We'll come back and circle back to this chart here on Bitcoin. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ, and we're going to zoom in here on the daily chart, right? So recap. This is what we like to do. Recap, start fresh, and here we go. So good morning, everyone. Rick's Moneymakers, Helton, Waldo. Happy birthday, West Diddy. Awesome. So we have bearish divergence going back to July, right? We've been talking about this, covering it. Price put in a lower high on NASDAQ. That's the higher probability of a breakdown, right? The reversal candle, price battled and battled and battled, and then put in a lower high. We were talking about back here that there could be a potential lower high, but it found support, bounced back up, and put in a lower high up here. And then we're talking about the breakdown back here, right? On the live streams, we were talking about, we started going live September 6th. So we were talking about it, building up this lower high on the early live streams. So go back and take a look at that if you'd like. We talked about the breakdown here is the higher probability. And then, of course, it continued back down, sell signal, broke down, had some bullish divergence, 1, 2, 3 times down here, found support, bounced. We were talking about this on the live stream as well. Big push up, lesser push, starting to lose momentum, right? Starting to lose momentum, sell signal, still trying to find support, right? Still trying to battle it to the downside or the upside, right? Still a battle going on. So you start getting a candle close below this trend line here. The probabilities continue to increase, start closing back below the trending dots, the probabilities continue to increase that this is the third lower high, not confirmed yet, right? Obviously not confirmed yet. Still got the question mark on it, but it's what we've been talking about. Even down here, we're talking about where the third lower high would be, right? Break down this trend line. The probabilities continue to increase that we're going to come back down here and see lower targets sub $14,000. I know a lot of people would be surprised. A lot of traders, a lot of investors would be surprised if it comes back down here. But we wouldn't be one of them, right? We won't be one of them. We won't have to blame a black swan event. We won't have to blame this or that on the news. As news is getting pushed out the day of a big move or the day after, right? Things start to happen well before, right? With divergences, lower highs, as it's going through this topping pattern, right? So we'll see. Obviously I could always be wrong and find support when we go to all-time highs and see and go check out the moon, right? But as of right now, it continues to put in lower highs, continues to put in lower lows, right? Even this was a sneaky lower low here at 14,700. Then if price puts in another lower high here, are we going to see lower prices down here? If you want to take a deeper dive into the NASDAQ and the SP 500, definitely go check out this video I put out on Saturday. This one's geared more towards the S&P 500, right? Is crash confirmed. And then this video over here 3 weeks ago was more geared towards NASDAQ. So definitely go check those videos out. 25 minutes on the will the stock market crash? That's the NASDAQ. And then this one is more about the S&P 500 2 days ago. So definitely go take a look at those. We're going to keep going here. So that's the NASDAQ. It seems like the Dow Jones, Russell 2000, and S&P 500 have been kind of leading the way. We're always looking for something. Good morning, Arnold. Welcome back. Longtime snipers here in the comment section. Love it. Are we smashing the likes? Someone be the moderator of the likes. You know, as we hit milestones, 10 likes, 20 likes, 30 likes. Let's gain some momentum here. Our goal is 100 likes. I think we were just shy yesterday with like close to 50 likes. So we're closing in, right? We're getting about 50% of our goal, but we would love to see 100 likes on here. Help me, help you, help me, right? Let's go right into the Dow Jones. So the Dow Jones has been more bearish, right? So if you kind of look back here on the daily chart, you had this peak, you had this lower high. Price came a lot lower, right? And became oversold and continues to get a bounce, right? Continues to get a retracement. Maybe we can see a retracement all the way back up to 34,500-ish, you know, just kind of the quick eyeball test. You know, obviously it could be over as well, but too early to call it on the Dow Jones. Let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart, you know, like I said, it has been more bearish just because it had a weekly sell signal where the NASDAQ has not. We're under 5 likes, Colson. Oh my gosh, with 15 people watching, these are rookie numbers. I know. Well, my screen says more than 15, but you know, close enough, right? 5 likes. Let's at least get 100% of the likes of the people viewing. We'll get it dialed in though. Smash the likes, right? So it had a bigger breakdown. Looks like it's bounced and found support so far, but it's well below the trending dots on the weekly chart, right? Even if it's a pending buy signal, you know, it's below it. So it was such a big move and fast move down over like 3 weeks, right? That we're kind of letting the trending dots catch up, letting the moving averages catch up. And so we're expecting lower highs to be put in, right? So you got a longer term lower high with a reversal candle here. We could see a lower high here. And then where will that next lower high be? It could take some time to play out, right? Especially with all the old school investors and traders, you know, the old sayings, right? The Santa rally and all that stuff could take some time to play out, right? And then you're starting to come in towards the end and then break back down like that, right? So that's what we're kind of waiting and watching for in the Dow Jones. Where will that next lower high be? And then we'll watch it on the lower time frames and watch it play out in real time. We can draw out some trend lines like that. Could be days, could be weeks, right? Could bounce all the way back up here towards the end of October, right? Put in that lower high and then watch it start to break down from there. That's what we're still expecting. It was such a big move down. We're just looking for a bounce, a retracement of that, right? The Russell 2000, like I said, has been more bearish and has been in this big correction mode. And you see it's back into this key target area that's retested June 2022, retested September 2022, retested March 2023, March 2023, right? How many times is it going to retest this support? And eventually will it continue to hold as support long term, or will it eventually start to break down and then drop back down and come back to one of these longer term downward targets? Ricardo, welcome. One more. Getting better. 25 likes. Nice. LFG, let's go. Good morning, Johnny C. Johnny C's back in the house. Ricardo, long time. I know you've been following me for a long time as well. Welcome. All right, so Russell 2000. This is the daily chart. In the short term on the Russell, we had this shorter term bullish divergence, right? RSI buy signal, MACD crossover. So after this correction here from 2000, probably going to see some sort of a bounce or a retracement, right, on the Russell as well. And so that's probably kind of what we're looking at there is, this bullish divergence. And you can see price is kind of breaking out of there. Could see a buy signal in the near future. And then we'll see if it comes back, retest the 200-week moving average, see if it hits like preliminary target 1, 2, 3, whatever. And then see if it rolls back over longer term. Longer term, the weekly chart is still bearish, but we do have this pending reversal candle on early in day 2. But as you can see, the MACD is bearish, right? RSI is still bearish. Hernan, I'm going to probably do that every single day. Welcome back. Good morning, everybody. So it's a pending reversal candle. And again, it could just come back up into the 200-week moving average and or the trending dots and let the moving averages kind of catch up. Let the MACD catch up, right? Let the EMA kind of catch up and then put in a lower high at some point. And then if it does put in that lower high at some point, this support, if it comes back down and retests, the more it comes back down, price comes back down and retests these support areas longer term, the less likely it's going to hold, right? So retest, 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 retest. Eventually it won't hold, right? It could. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the bottom, right? But it's everything else is kind of trending south on the Russell. The dollar still bullish on the weekly chart, right? Bubble Donkey back in the house. Brazil, love your show. Awesome. Congrats. Haha, no problem, Jesse. Oh, thanks, my man. Appreciate it. That's what Aldo's here for. Always consistent with misspelling my name. Awesome. All right. So the dollar still bullish on the weekly chart. Could be coming back into, it's already hit target 1 on the preliminary. And remember, it hit 3 major targets out of 4 to the downside. Never hit this 4th target. Never retested 200-week moving average. Hit 3 out of 4 targets to the upside. Hasn't hit this 4th target yet, right? Will it continue the trend of coming down, hit 3 of the 4 targets, finding support, bounces out, hits this target, then comes back down? That would be crazy. Otherwise, it could hit these targets, come straight back down, and of course, come back up, flip this target into support, and then continue higher. So we're going to continue to watch it unfold. It's still bullish on the weekly chart, so we're expecting a bounce, right? Or we're expecting retracement and then bounce from there. But on the daily chart, we've been talking about this on the live streams. We've been covering it. We had bearish divergence here, right? Bearish divergence followed by RSI sell signal. We had a MACD bearish crossover. And then looks like price came all the way back up, retested these trend lines, and was putting in a lower high. We talked about this. And now it looks like it's starting to break back down, putting in a lower high in RSI. Everything is trending back down. That we're going to see lower targets hit on the dollar could help with these bounces on the NASDAQ and everything like that. So, be aware of that. If you're holding short positions, be aware of that. We trade the chart first and foremost in front of us. But at the end of the day, can everyone hear me all right? I think the mic automatically did it, but it looks like my volume was a little low, so maybe it'll automatically adjust it. But I think no one has said anything, so I'm thinking that the mic did its job and automatically calculated for my error of having such a low volume, or maybe you had to pump up the volume on your side. But let me know in the comments if there's any mic issues there. No one let me know. So mic is good. Cool. So it automatically adjusted. Shout out to Alejandro on the X app. Longtime cyber buddy over there, had me get this mic that automatically calculates for my error. So that's what we're watching on the dollar. The 10-year yield, quickly, let's take a look at it. It's bouncing right now. It's back above, and maybe there was some bearish divergence with the reversal candle. may have found support temporarily. If we look at the weekly chart, it is still ultra bullish, but it's early in the week, right? So we're still watching that. It's still ultra bullish. The MACD is still trending up. Could have found support on this trend line and start to bounce, but it could also start to lose its momentum and come back down here as well. It's still early in the week. We still have this real long-term target up here in the 5%, right? Currently at 4.8%. It's all good. Awesome. So we've had these macro experts tell us that the rates were down, that they were going to reverse back here. We had macro experts tell us that the rates are going to correct back here. We had macro experts tell us this was it. We had macro experts telling us it's it all the way up. Same with the dollar. I remember July 2021. I remember the same thing. And I was like, nope, it's continuing to increase. Still bullish, have longer term targets, right? And we'll be ready for the reversal, right? We'll always be ready for the reversal. We're not concerned about it. We're not concerned with the narratives. All we have to do is study and watch these charts every single day, and we won't miss the ones that we're watching every single day. So we'll stay hyper-focused. We'll stay obsessed with the charts, and we'll continue to call it out in real time, and we'll be ready for a major trend reversal. But it's still ultra bullish on the weekly chart. It's still ultra bullish on the monthly chart. There's currently no signs of it slowing down as of right now. It's ultra bullish, and the higher time frames outweigh the lower time frames. The lower time frames tell us with a sniper precision of when changes are happening. However, the longer term lets us know what side, if we're on the right side or not, right? So we do have higher targets up here as well, but we don't need to worry about 6% rates until we hit 5%. It's closing in though, 4.8%. I remember back here when the rates were done, they were going to go through a major correction. I was talking about, could this be a longer term bull flag, right? Could this be a longer term bullish flag? And it was starting to break out back to the upside. This longer term bullish flag would take us all the way up to like this 6% range. So, you know, my thoughts on patterns, if you've been watching me for a long time, I think patterns are great for ideas, but they're not enough for me to trade. The VIX, the wild animal on the weekly chart, could be coming back down to the trending dots again. Will it find support over the coming weeks and then have a longer term breakout? That's something to pay attention to. If you do, you could see a bigger crash in the markets. Has hit 2 targets to the upside on these lower targets, right? So we've been talking about it. It's a wild animal. And you go back to previous streams, right? It could come all the way back down, find support, take some time, right? November. And then if there's a bigger move to the upside, it could take some time to play out, weeks, if not months. Tomorrow, we don't know, right? And if it does, that's when you can see a bigger correction in the market. So that's the VIX. We'll take a look at gold. Gold is big drop down right before it started to reverse right before the 200-week moving average, right before this horizontal support at 1814, and just above this longer term target, hit multiple targets to the downside already. Will it give a retracement? Is it going to flip around bullish, right? If it is, we talked about it yesterday. You can go back to yesterday's stream as well. It would put in a lower high. I did this a lot yesterday's on stream. I took a look at it. Come on, guys, smash those likes. Let's help Jesse, help us, help him. Awesome. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate it. Yesterday, I kept saying a lower high. I meant a higher low, right? So if this is going to be a bullish breakout, we would expect a higher low at some point and then breakout, right? Typically, it just doesn't go straight up to the moon after straight down. It could. It's possible. And if this is just a lower high, then we would expect it to break back down and come back down to these targets here. So that's what we're kind of waiting and watching for on gold futures. Same with silver, right? Big breakdown here. It's trying to regain this upward trend line. Will it? Or will it end up being a fake out, putting in a lower high, another one, and then coming back down, right? If not, right, at some point it's going to put in a higher low. Now I'm getting it. Now I'm starting to figure it out, figuring out how to say it. Let's go. Smash the likes. Let's go. One of our requests from Aldo is TLT. We've been covering this. We're going to cover it again. Early bird gets the worm. Make sure to comment the assets you want me to take a look at, and we'll look at it together. Let's jump over to, let's see, Ethereum down 1.3%, 1.37%. Chainlink, we're talking about, at what point do you take profits if you're in a long position, right? Based off of the daily chart, it's down 1.67%. Let's jump over to Magnificent 7, see if it's still magnificent today. NVDA is only down 3.21%. Why I say that is because it was down almost 7%, I believe, right? It gapped down. It seems like it's battling to fill that gap, battling to back test this trend line. Let's get off of the brush. Let's move over. Let's stay on this daily chart. Let's kind of zoom in here, take a look at it. And then I put this, I posted this chart earlier. So very interesting, right? Bearish divergence that we've been talking about, all-time high plus bearish divergence, right? And then reversal candle plus a lower high, right? So we had a reversal candle back on Friday's stream. We talked about it. And so that's where we're still at. Then we had, and we also had a candle close back below this more vertical trend line. We had a candle close on yesterday, below the trend line. Today would be the first candle close back below the trending dots, right? It's currently a pending sell signal. It may not finish that way. Yesterday it closed at about call it 450 just for a round number. Today it gapped down to 424, right? So that gap down was, let's see, it gapped down 5.5%, right? So 5.5% gap down. Looks like it's kind of battling its way back up to fill that gap. And then will it, in the coming days, will it come back and start to reverse back down? That's what you'll be watching on the video. Remember, we have this massive 20% gap. For those of you who haven't been following me for a long time, or those of you who have been following me for a long time, you know that gaps, I always say this, gaps work great as targets. Not all gaps get filled, but I'd be very surprised if a 20% gap does not get filled. We have this massive 20% gap that was filled when Meta, aka Facebook, was at the bottoms, right? We talked about a 21% gap, a massive 21% gap. It got filled. We also have a Meta 20% gap near the bottom at like 150-ish. So, putting 20% gaps out left and right, that's what we're going to continue to watch. Pending sell signal could, this pending sell could disappear today, still finish, in the bullish territory, and then over the coming days end up having another pending sell signal, and then ultimately break back down, right? With a sell signal, and then continue back down to this target area. Then we'll find out if it puts in another lower high, and then another lower low, and so on and so on and so on. Woo! There we go. All right, let's flip back over. We'll come back to Magnificent 7. I want to cover Bitcoin a little bit. 28,000. Let's see. Oh, wrong one. Let's go back over here. 28,547, right? We had a buy signal down here after price hit two targets to the downside. Massive wick after hitting $30,000. Is it going to continue to be bullish, or is it going to start to put in that lower high at some point and build out that right shoulder that we've been talking about, right? Remember, this was a big move down, and it hasn't seen like very much since this big breakdown from 29,000. There hasn't been a lot of filler in price yet with buying and selling. So is it kind of like filling that up, right? Is it kind of like come all the way back down and like filling this up over here, right? And then will it start to break down and put in that right shoulder? That's what we're going to continue to watch, right? So it's still currently bullish on the weekly chart. It's currently bullish on the daily chart. Huge wick on that daily candle. We're going to continue to watch it. If it builds out this right shoulder, remember, this left shoulder took a long time to build out. It could take some more time to build out a lower right shoulder, right? And then if so, if it starts to break down again from this trend line, then you'll be watching and waiting for it. And true snipers going to be watching and waiting for it patiently, right? And then do what you have to do and attack to the downside if you need to. If we look at the weekly chart, as of right now, like I said, it's still bullish. Let's kind of clean this up here so we can just see it a little bit better. So we did talk about this, and we've been talking about it since the breakdown here at 29,000. Tesla, John, good morning, Jesse. Wish I would have kept loading up on Tesla and took that scalp trade back up before earnings. Response last week held me back from pulling the trigger. You shouldn't take anything I say as financial advice, Tesla, John. You should definitely stick to what you believe and what you think about. So took that scalp trade back up. Are you talking about a long? Well, I mean, it broke down with the sell signal. So definitely don't take anything I say here as financial advice, and don't do anything that you don't want to do, and you should pull your own trigger, right? So definitely keep your own whatever you believe, whatever you think. And at the end of the day, like, I'm covering Tesla. I wasn't in a short position on Tesla whatsoever. So I wasn't like covering on lower time frames like a scalp. But hindsight is always hindsight. So we'll take a look at Tesla. Magnificent Seven's coming up. But this is, as we always talk about, none of this is financial advice. And you should always do your own research and definitely pull the trigger based off of your own thoughts. And don't let what I talk about sway you whatsoever, right? So Bitcoin, we played this to the downside. We talked about, possibly finding support, pushing back up, right? Even played it to the downside on the lower time frames over here. And then we saw and called it out on Sunday on the X app. We posted that, we have a pending 4-hour buy signal, and then not even a few 4-hour buy candles later, it pushed all the way back up. And so now it's kind of a wait and see. Will it build out that right shoulder? Too early to say. That's what we've been saying that it possibly could do. Will it build out a lower high, right? We talked about this way back here. We talked about it down here. It could take weeks, if not months, for it to reverse back around, build out a lower high, and then come back down. It's still taking weeks and months for it to happen, and we'll continue to watch it. It's trying to regain the 200-week moving average, and so we're going to continue to watch Bitcoin there. Monthly chart, pending buy signal there, right? No buy signal yet. There was that MACD bullish crossover on the monthly chart, right? So something to pay attention to. It doesn't mean that we couldn't see lower prices first on the monthly chart, just as, and I called this out on the X app. I called it out in the Discord often, right? So we had a bearish MACD crossover on the MACD right here, January 2022. Oasis Rose chart, check please. Okay, you got it. Welcome back, Huang. I believe, I think I've seen you here before. Welcome back to the channel. So we had a bearish MACD crossover on Bitcoin monthly chart back in January 2022. And there was a bounce for a couple months. And I was calling out the bearish MACD crossover on monthly chart as a long-term downward trend, right? So we were watching it. Yeah, Vietnam, Jin Chao. Okay, awesome. And we were talking about it, and then we attacked to the downside, right? So it was putting in a lower high on the monthly chart. There's a MACD bearish crossover, which doesn't happen often. And so we were talking about, further downside. Well, we have a bullish MACD crossover, and we talked about this on the X app as well. We talked about the bullish MACD crossover July 2023, but we also said, based off of this, the bearish MACD crossover, it doesn't mean that we won't see lower prices. I mean, it doesn't mean we won't see higher prices back here. And we did. There was a bounce, right? On this bullish MACD crossover, it doesn't mean we won't see lower prices. And so far we have. Uh, is that it? It's possible, but the month isn't over. So we're going to kind of see how the month plays out as well. And we'll be watching and waiting for it. But there are some signs of strength on Bitcoin, right? And one thing to just keep in mind is that, we put out those videos about, we don't know how Bitcoin's going to react if the overall markets continue to correct, right? It doesn't mean that it's going to be a major crash all the way back to March 2020 lows, even though a lot of stocks have. It's just more of an awareness of me putting out those videos. We don't know how Bitcoin's going to react. Maybe it does break correlation from stocks and everything and continues upward. But the cautions that I put out in those videos is that, it hasn't broken correlation yet. And when there have been bigger corrections in the market, like say March 2020, Bitcoin had a 65% drop, right? So until it breaks correlation, I'm going to say that it doesn't break correlation and that it's continued to be, a high risk asset until it's not, right? So we'll continue to watch it. There are signs. It doesn't mean that it couldn't just flip back over. I think it's less likely, but also price could go lower for a couple months prior to, price starting to make a move to the upside, right? So just as we had the bearish MACD crossover here, there's a couple months of price movement up, trapped some more bulls, and we were in shorts. I was shorting Ethereum at this point, not Bitcoin, but we were looking for short positions. So that's what we're watching here. So could we hit these lower targets? I think it's very possible that we do prior to making its move right before possibly the halving, and then we'll continue to watch it from there. Whew, that's a lot. Let's jump back over the Magnificent Seven, right? Meta, still bullish on the weekly chart, right? Still right around where that massive 21% gap is. Could this be a lower high on RSI? It's possible. It's too early to call it, right? If so, if there's a weekly close up here on price, it could be additional bearish divergence, right, from shorter term. And so we'll see. We'll see if this is the lower high, if there's going to be another lower high on Meta. On the daily chart, continue to watch it as well. Did have this bearish divergence going all the way back here, right? And then put in additional bearish divergence here, right? So is it going to continue to have bearish divergence, or at some point will it start to break down? And then the higher probability is when it puts in that lower high. So on the daily chart, even though the MACD is still bullish, it's still bullish on the daily chart. At some point, it could put in a lower high, and then at that point, you'll be waiting for that would be, most likely the top part of Meta, right? So we'll continue to watch it. Amazon only down 0.1%. At some point, is it going to put in a lower high? The MACD is still below the zero line, right? At some point, this could be a lower high here. And wherever it's at, wherever it's going to be, either here or up here, the lower high, that's what we were kind of watching and waiting for on Amazon. Had this bearish divergence. You have this gap up here at 135. It could continue to push higher, maybe back test the 200-week moving average, maybe fill this gap and come back to a key retracement area here and put in a lower high. The higher probability to the downside is that it puts in a lower high after bearish divergence, and then this would be your higher probability short to the downside on Amazon. So that's what we're kind of waiting and watching on Amazon. Microsoft, where is it going to put in that lower high? Was this the lower high here, right? Will it continue to push higher? And if so, will it close below, say, RSI on 61? If so, it could put in a lower high anywhere below 61. Price put in a lower high anywhere below 337, right? So we're still watching and waiting for it there. Where will that lower high be? And as of right now, it's still currently bullish. You're still waiting for it to break down from there. So you're kind of watching it like that, watching and waiting for it. Could be one of those double rolling lower highs, right? Even push up higher with a wick possibly. So the day hasn't closed yet. Continue to watch it. Microsoft on the longer term weekly chart, like I said, could put in that lower high in the weekly chart. And so you're still watching and waiting for it down there. As of right now, still bouncing, but the MACD had that bearish crossover way back here in July. So that's what kind of watching there. Tesla John missed out on the scalp that he was waiting for. What we were looking for was not the scalp. We were waiting for price to put in a lower high. It did, right? As of, well, not confirmed yet, but it's looking like the lower high. Price broke down from here in the daily chart, had a sell signal. Looks like it found support, started to break down here. This would be, we expect fake outs along the way, right? We expect fake outs along the way. This pending buy signal is still below the trending dots, right? So it could just be putting in another lower high before it starts to break down even further. Let's take a look at the MACD. MACD had a bearish crossover. So we don't really cover scalps here, but this probably would have been a decent scalp, like on a shorter time frame. But you're guessing where the bottom is unless you're on a really lower time frame, right? It's 3%, right? So, if it comes back in here, maybe even the pending buy becomes a buy and comes in, puts in a lower high, and then starts to break down from there, right? This is looking like that lower high, breakdown, fake out first, puts in another lower high. We even talked about this in previous streams of it possibly doing this exact scenario, similar to silver, going through this consolidation phase and then breaks down from there, right? MACD, bearish crossover on the daily. Thoughts on RNDR, Colson, putting in bearish divergence on the 1 day and lower. Okay. We'll take a look at it. Bearish divergence, RNDR. So, a scalp here or there, you have to decide what you're trading on. Daily chart, scalps, you're probably on 5-minute chart or lower, right? If you're doing a scalp. So this is based off of the daily chart. And in hindsight, this is starting to look like the lower high. We had a sell signal still below the trending dots. You can see like the trending dots could take some time to roll over, right? Start to flip red, start to flip bearish. Price could even come up higher and put in a lower high and then continue back down from there. Thanks, Jesse. Quality trading education as always. You got it. Rick's Moneymakers Helton. Awesome. So that's Tesla. Weekly chart still holding on, right? I had this longer term, but it's starting to show signs of weakness, right? So you've got this peak here on RSI weekly chart at July with this lower high here, September. Looks like another potential lower high, right? So is it going to end up getting sold off and continue back down? It seems like that's the way it's trending on the weekly chart. Again, we talked about this. There's a MACD bearish crossover. So you can counter trade it with scalps and day trades, to the upside. There's always going to be bounces along the way, but the overall trend, is starting to trend downward, and higher probability is, you got the weekly chart putting in lower highs. You start to see it break down. This is going to be like your higher probability. We're going to see lower prices, right? You start to see RSI start to break down, the EMA start to trend down like this. You're going to see lower prices down to here. So that's Tesla weekly chart. Apple continue to trend downward, lower high there. Bearish divergence in the weekly chart. MACD bearish crossover there. Still trending downward. Is this going to be another lower high, right? Came back up, back tested the trending dots, starting to continue to trend downward. We even talked about this, almost called it out exactly. And everything usually doesn't play out this closely, but we did talk about this, right? Breakdown, would it put in a lower high and close this gap up here? It partially filled it, 0.45%, came all the way back down, right? Would it bounce and put in another lower high up here, right? Then it broke down on the daily chart again, right? We talked about this and it's playing out very, very similar. Daily candle close below, came all the way down. It was pending a sell signal, right? Is it going to come back all the way up, back test this trend line, and then start to roll back over? Seems like this was the lower high here, right? Big engulfing bullish red candle there, right? That's Apple. What's our update? Who's moderating these likes? Where are we at? We're at 5, right? I think we're at 5 likes. How many likes do we have now? We had 5 likes. Oh, getting better. 25 likes. Colson. Nice. I forgot about that. Okay, awesome. So there we are. That's the Magnificent 6. Let's look at the Magnificent 7, right? All right, bearish divergence, right? Big breakdown on this candle. Total 24 likes. Oh, so we had 25 likes and we went backwards. Oh, wow. So someone unliked. Oh my God. Someone unliked. Well, that's all right. If you don't like it, you probably don't want to hear it because we're telling you the charts as they are, and you may not like it. It's okay. You could even dislike it if you want, and it's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm just telling you what I see in the charts, and we're going to call it as we see it. Bearish divergence, right? Then a breakdown, right? On Google, is it going to come back up and put in a sneaky lower? There we go. Now we're at 26. Now we're rocking and rolling. Let's take a break and celebrate this moment. Let's hit the subscribe button. Let's do this. Let's hit this like button. Let's celebrate the 26 likes. We are back rocking and rolling. There we go. All caps. Colson, the like moderator over there. Awesome. Is Google going to put in a sneaky lower high? Is it going to lose relative strength? Is it going to lose momentum and roll over? I can only like once. AG, awesome. I know that's all you can do, but you're playing a part with that one like. We'll take it one like at a time. It's currently bouncing right now, but it's losing momentum. It has been. It's been going through this. It's been ultra bullish, right? It's been going through this bearish divergence. It's starting to lose relative strength after going RSI 80 back here in May 2023, RSI 69, RSI 66, RSI 65. We're losing relative strength on Google, the 7th of the Magnificent 7. There we are. When's it going to roll over? When's it going to break down? Could be days, could be another week, but I think we're talking days, right? Maybe tomorrow, maybe this week. Google puts in a sneaky lower high and then starts its descent down, comes back down to retest target 2, probably gets in a bounce, right? Probably gets in a bounce some point, break down, come back, put a sneaky lower high, comes all the way down, another bounce, lower high, boom, 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 fill that gap here, right? That's what we're waiting and watching for on Google. Let's move back over, and we're 43 minutes in. So let's jump right into the comments. Let's make sure we didn't miss anyone's questions, and let's start to look at it. Let's take a quick peek over at Bitcoin. Yep, not doing too much else, 0.15%. Oh, I did want to take a look at this. Bitcoin dominance. I posted this chart on the X app. Ultra bullish on the daily chart. Ultra bullish on the weekly chart. Bullish on the daily chart, right? So why we're going to look at this. We posted this way back, right? On the X app, Discord, all that stuff. December 2022, we posted Bitcoin dominance. We posted again buy signal week 1, January 2023. We posted that buy signal, right? It's also the buy signal of when Bitcoin broke out as well. I posted that I took the leverage long position at 16,800 on Bitcoin breakout on the daily chart, somewhere between January 3rd, January 4th, depending on The time frame, I'd have to look back, but 16,800. We posted that. I posted this chart again on the Axe app and hit target 1 back here in March 2023, right? Many were saying that that was it. Many of the people, traders and investors were saying there's no way it will hit target 3 or target 4 or and probably not even target crypto. Mike, hey Jesse, which altcoins are you interested in the most, or only swing trading? Thank you. Yeah, just swing trading. I don't have any I'm not an expert on the tech crypto, Mike. That's a good question. We'll come back to this question. I want to finish my thought here on Bitcoin dominance. Many said we're going to get a pullback here at target 1. Many said we're going to get a pullback at target 2, that we would not hit the 200-week moving average. We did hit the 200-week moving average in October of this month. This month, a couple weeks ago, or last week. And now we have ultra bullish on the weekly chart in October. We're dead smack here. If we get a weekly close above the 200-week moving average and take this pivot here at 51.5%, the probabilities continue to increase. We're coming back up to this 55% area and hit target 3. So despite what many narratives say, despite what many say against what we're seeing on the charts for market snipers, we're continuing to watch it unfold, and the probabilities continue to stack that Bitcoin dominance is going to hit the third target long term. Okay, let's jump into TLT. That was the next one. I wanted to take a look at this. Ultra bullish. Someone lit the weekly candles on fire. The daily candles are on fire. Someone lit them there, and we're continuing to watch it. TLT, Aldo was first. Aldo, are you still in the house? Remember, you asked about this in the past. We're talking about, future possible bullish divergence is still bearish, right? We talked about could this be the bottom? Sure, right? Could be the bottom. It's still ultra bearish, right? MACD is still bearish, still trending down. Even the weekly chart and the EMA is still ultra bearish, right? So could there be a reversal at some point? Yeah. Could this be bullish divergence in the future? Yeah. And that's why we end up drawing this out of potential bounces. But then there could be future bullish divergence. So it's still watching and waiting. It's only day 2 of this weekly chart, but it's still ultra bearish. It's still trending downward. Not sure if you wanted to talk about it. All right, we're going to get which SMA setting on B. Oh, I think this was, I don't know. I could take a look at it. Johnny C, it doesn't hold that much weight to me. I just have it as like a bookmark. Sometimes I have the EMA 200 week. Sometimes I have the SMA. I've been looking for just the regular old fashioned moving average. So it doesn't really matter to me. I just have the 200 week moving average, whether it's the SMA or the EMA. So it doesn't really matter to me. I just have it as like an overall bookmark. So it doesn't really matter, but just wanted to answer your question. So we're going to get through all that. But TLT, we do have bullish divergence. It can be continued bullish divergence. That's why I kind of drew this out. And a higher probability is, when the macro experts will finally be right. Will it be 2 years? Will it be 2.5 years? We don't know, right? But at some point, it could come back up, close out some of this bullish divergence or continued bullish divergence. Let's drop down the daily chart, right? Daily chart. We had this little bit of bullish divergence here, right? It moved back up, dropped straight back down. Will this be, in hindsight, a lower high? No, not lower high. I did say it wrong again. Is it going to be a sneaky higher low on the daily chart, right? There was a MACD bullish crossover, but it's well below the 0 line, right? And it could just end up rolling back over or continue to be bearish, right? So it's got a lot of work to do before like a longer term reversal, right? could take a long time, right? Especially when the weekly chart is ultra bearish. It could take a long time. Emmanuel, welcome back. We can take a look at it. Lawrence, Maddock. Okay. Ooh, we got a lot of requests. So we're going to keep going here, but the thoughts still remain, Aldo. Could take some long-term play when the weekly chart is still bearish. Let's take a quick look at the monthly chart. It's going to take a long time. I know a lot of people want to call the bottom, right? The monthly chart never had a bullish crossover. It doesn't look like. Maybe it was pending it. It's ultra bearish on the monthly chart. That's crazy, right? Calling the bottoms when the monthly chart is ultra bearish, calling the bottoms when the weekly chart is ultra bearish. It could be, but you don't want to call those bottoms. Again, it could be bullish divergence like the weekly chart. It's too early to say, right? We're back to 2007 prices, right? 2007 prices. Where is the bottom going to be? Is this the bottom, right? We know for 2 years they've been calling the bottom, right? They've been calling the bottom since 147. It's in a free fall right now. We're not calling bottoms on a free fall, waiting for higher probability reversals, and it's going to take time for the ship to get turned around. Trust me, it's going to take time, right? This could have been the bottom at $96. It battled for several months and it came back to the trending dots and then just popped right back down. This could be the bottom. It battled back to the trending dots and it could just come straight back down, right? That's what we're waiting and watching for. Let's start running through these comments. We're 51 minutes in. Wes Diddy, let's go, my man. You're gonna see him for lunch today. Take him out for his birthday lunch. I already took him out for his birthday dinner. God, what does this guy want from me? He'll try, knowing Wes Diddy, he's gonna try to pay for me to get me back for the dinner. The other night after he smoked me in pickleball. When was that? Thursday? Oh my God, I can't even remember. Yeah, Thursday night. He beat me in pickleball 4 out of 5 games. Humbled me. First time playing pickleball, I went 6-0. I was a savage on the court. Nothing went right on the court. Thursday, I lost 4 out of 5 to Wes Diddy. He smoked me. He's an old guy. He's older than I am, 5 years older. Wes Diddy smoked me on pickleball, but he has a tennis background. So, I don't want to take it too harsh, but man, good morning, snipers. Happy birthday, Wes Diddy. Birthday lunch coming up for you. Yo, yo, yo. Sup, Olson. Can we look at my favorite chart? TLT, you got it. Same thoughts, same ultra bullish, my man. We'll watch it and wait for it. Just keep letting me know if you want to keep watching TLT. Early bird gets the worm. Rick's Moneymakers Health in. Jesse and the Market Snipers. How many likes do we have? Good morning, Waldo. Happy birthday. Good morning, Arnold, longtime sniper. Colson. We're going to go through this fast. We're under 5 likes. Oh, we jumped up, though. I know we did. Ricardo, awesome. One more. Got it. 25. Then we lost one. Good morning, Johnny C. Can you opine on ARB daily and a possible bounce off the trend line? Let's take a look at ARB for you, Johnny C. That's why I want to kind of go back to the comments. Where are we on those? You still here, Johnny? ARB. Is it the ETF? Are you looking, or is it a crypto asset? I feel like it's a crypto asset. Is it crypto or is it stock? Let's see. Oasis Rose. ARB. Let me know, Johnny. See if you're still here, and if it's I want to keep going. I don't know if it's the right one. I'll come back to you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Hernan. God, here we go again. Bubble Donkey, welcome back from Brazil. No problem. You're good on volume. Sweet. Awesome. Hear you. Great. Mike is good. Good. Come on, guys, smash the likes. Yep, BTC, go to 24. We'll see. Okay. Oasis, Rose. All right, let's look at Rose. Let's take a look at Rose while we're waiting for Johnny C. Crypto. That's what I thought. I thought it was crypto. Okay, there it is. All right. That's what I thought, but that's why I always ask, if it's there might be a stock that's ARB, like an ARB ETF or something. So thanks for clarifying. ARB. What are you looking at? What was it? I can't remember. So not a lot of chart history. It's bearish on the weekly chart still. Everything's trending downward, right? Daily chart still bearish, right? So not much to see on the lower time on the mid to longer time. So here we go with the brush. Here we go. Okay, delete that. Still bearish, right? So could it find support here? Possibly. Could it put in a higher low here? Possibly, but it's still trending downward, right? MACD is bearish below zero line. RSI is bearish. It's kind of a guess at this. It's kind of a waiting, looking at bounce off a daily long trend line from July. Okay. But the overall trend and momentum is down. Maybe you could draw it like this. Maybe that's what you're kind of talking about, right? So that would be your last line of defense, probably, right? So we'll see, but it is still currently bearish. Don't want to guess. If you start getting like a daily close back below here, right? You get a daily close here, maybe kind of find support. But if you start getting closes back below there, it's kind of a wait and watch right now. If you got this horizontal support here as well. So those are like the three lines I'd be kind of watching. Is this going to be another lower high, right? We'll see. We'll see. Everything's kind of trending downward right now. Hope that helps. All right, let's go back. Keep going through these. Where are we at? One hour already. We got to keep rocking and rolling. All right. So what did I get? TLT, ARB, got it. Got that one. Bubble Donkey. Okay, we went through that one. Volume. All right, BTC. Yep. Rose. Okay, Rose. Here we go. Let's take a look at Rose. We know that one's crypto. We've looked at that one for the snipers in the past. Let's take a look at it. Pending sell signal, right? So you had a lower high, reversal, lower high, reversal. Is this another lower high with a sell signal, right? It's battling both sides of it, right? On Rose. Could this end up being a lower high? It's possible. It's still battling. It's basically kind of been going sideways, right? If you kind of zoom out, it's tough when you're swing trading momentum either to the upside or downside and an asset is going sideways, right? So if you kind of look at it, kind of zoom out from like here, it's in a consolidation sideways pattern, right? So you don't really know when it's finally going to break out to the downside or to the upside if it's going sideways, right? There's going to be a lot of fake outs to the upside and downside. You do have a low pivot point here at 3 cents, right? But as of right now, the daily chart is bearish, right? There was a bullish MACD crossover, but doesn't mean it couldn't go down, couldn't go lower first. And you're kind of watching it like this. Is it going to find support or is it going to start to break down? But really, it's been consolidating sideways for the last couple months. And there's not really any kind of edge yet to the upside or downside. Let's look at the weekly chart on Rose. It's still bearish on the weekly chart. So you got the low here, November 2020, based off of this exchange on Binance. You've got a low here, back in December 2022, right? And you got a low here at September 2023. So is it putting in higher lows, right? too early to say because you got another potential lower high here, and it's still bearish on the weekly chart for RSI, but did have a bullish MACD crossover. So it's kind of a wait and see. We know that Bitcoin dominance is still bullish, right? So, it's kind of a wait and see, waiting for a higher probability reversal. So probably just going to wait and see on that one. If you're watching it like a longer term trend, maybe you're kind of watching something like that. And at some point, you're going to see like the overall trend reversal happen where maybe, it continues like this. And then finally, there's like, who knows? Maybe it takes that long for it to kind of break out, right? And you're just caught in this sideways consolidation with maybe, some spikes here or there, right? Some spikes here or there. And then finally there's a breakout, like similar to like these spikes, right? So it's kind of hard to say, but this is kind of like that longer term downward trend until it breaks that trend and starts building relative strength back up to the upside on these higher time frames. It's just going sideways right now. I hope that helps. Let me know if that's even the right one. Oasis Rose. I just did Rose. Maybe I just did the wrong one. Did I do the wrong one, Huang? If so, those are my thoughts on RNDR. Let's go to that one. I know we've been asked to cover this one a lot, so let's take a look at that. RNDR. It's on here, right? RNDR. Colson, thoughts on RNDR putting in bearish divergence on the daily and lower? Okay, we'll look at the lower time frame. Let's look at the weekly chart just to keep a check on our overall bias too, right? We want to keep a look on it. Possible MACD bearish crossover on RNDR, right? Right on the weekly chart. Had this big move up here, and then this correction to key support, right? And then it flipped bullish on the weekly chart, right? Flipped bullish, had even an RSI buy signal on the weekly chart. So did it find support at a key target area? And is it starting to trend upward? Or is this end up going to be, since it's so early in the week, right? Or is this going to be a lower high? It's teetering on both, right? It's 50-50 at this point right now in the weekly chart. So just be aware of that if you're looking to short it. We don't know if this is going to be a higher low or this can be another lower high, right? So just keep that in mind. It's kind of like it's in between that. It could be both, right? At this point, it could be both. So let's take a look at these lower time frames that we're looking at, that you're looking at, because we just want to make sure that you're not caught off guard, right? So let's see. Overall, pending could be a MACD bullish crossover. Doesn't mean it couldn't just be like MACD bullish crossover and then it crosses back over, right? Could happen, right? Had that sell signal on the daily chart back here, and then it could put in a lower high. And if price closes back up here, this is what you're referring to, Colson, is that if price closes back above $1.80, right? And it spiked all the way to $9.87 after coming down here, it could put in bearish divergence, could get rejected here, and then roll back over. But that's a lot of what ifs. It's, when the weekly chart is still bullish as of right now, and you're getting like buy the dip scenarios, you can see these massive bounces up, right? So, and we know by talking about it in past that there could be future bearish divergence. So you get this, maybe it puts in bearish divergence, right? Maybe it puts in additional bearish divergence, right? It's possible, right? And then puts in a lower high, right? It could take time and then break down, right? So just be aware of that. It could take some time to play out. So, that's the thing about always being, just be aware of what could happen, right? they could continue to put in bearish divergence, and then it finally puts in that lower high. So remember, that lower high is the higher probability of that breakdown. So that's what we're going to continue to watch. If it does that, right, that's what we're kind of watching. And it could play out just like this, where it puts in bearish divergence, comes back down. The bears short it again. It reverses back around, bearish divergence again, breaks back down, bear short it again, reverses again, puts in the lower high at that point, breaks back down. It could remain diverged for much longer than we always think, bullish or bearish. I hope that helps. Let me know your thoughts, any follow-up questions. Ooh, a lot more comments. We got a lot to go through. We're an hour and 5 minutes into it. I'm guessing we should be at like 30 likes by now. Come on now. Quality trading education as always. Thanks, Rick. I appreciate you. 24. Someone unliked. Oh my God. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. We're back to 26. Okay. Isn't it the magnificent 10 if you include Netflix, Walmart, and Costco? I mean, you could have like a magnificent 20. I just know that like I think it was Jim Cramer that talked about the magnificent 7. So we just did the magnificent 7. But yeah, there's a handful. There's a dozen, right? John DeLuca. There's a dozen of them that are, you could say they're, bigger asset classes that are holding up the market, stuff like that. So yeah, but for purposes of the live stream, right? John, purposes of the live stream, I can't be here all day. I've got projects I'm working on to always try to improve for the snipers, tools, stuff like that. I got to keep some mental bandwidth for that. And of course, I got to pay the bills with my own trading, right? So I do have to keep some bandwidth for trading on that one. And I've been more and more the last couple months learning forex, day trading, and stuff. I've started futures swing trading back in January 2023. So each trading asset has its own thing, like its own. What do I want to say? I don't know. You can tell I'm getting tired. So we're going to keep going through, keep powering. It's got its own nuances. There we go. It's got its own flavor of trading. So before you get really good at something, before you start going all in and putting in bigger accounts and going bigger swing trades, you got to learn the assets that you're trading first, right? I feel like I've got a good handle on Bitcoin. I've had a good handle on it since 2021. Futures, I feel like I'm getting pretty good at futures. I started that in January of 2023. And now the last couple months, I've never really been a day trader or a scalper, but I'm learning forex more and more the last couple months, getting some pretty good trades going on over there. Yesterday was like, I think I had a net profit yesterday of $2,800, way more than I make off of Market Sniper, right? Market Sniper is still in the hobby phase. I make way more just even off of forex day trading in a day, $2,800. In a month, if I just, whatever, it's not even close, right? So, anyways, we're going to keep moving on, but swing trading, I got to keep bandwidth. Day trading, I got to keep bandwidth for that. Market Sniper, keep growing that. But I got to keep building sniper tools to make it easier for you, for everyone. And we just want the whole community to get better, right? Let's keep going. I can only like once. Thanks, AG. I appreciate that. Hey, Jesse, which altcoins are you interested in the most? Well, I would have to say Crypto Mike. I don't even know if you're still here, but we have on our sniper bot alert system, we have the sniper top 40, right? And about 20 of them are crypto assets, right? So about 20 of them. So we get a lot. We get bot alerts on the daily chart, 4-hour chart, and weekly chart for 20 crypto assets. And so that would probably have to be my top 20 because we watch it, right? So not so much from a tech standpoint. I don't know how projects are doing. I don't know the owners of them. I don't know if it's good code that they're coding over there. All that stuff is above my pay grade. but we do watch 20 of them, and they're all in my sniper top 40. So you can kind of see the cluster. So it's kind of like the ones that I watch would be like Ethereum, Solana is on the sniper top 20, right, of the 40. And then we've got, like, of course, like Cardano. I believe AVAX is on there. I think BNB. I'd have to take a look, but the answer to your question is the top 20 of the sniper top 40, because whatever we're trading is the most important. Dots on there, near is on there. Of course, Bitcoin, obviously. BTC is my bit_CH. I'm not sure what that is, Bubble Donkey. Want more and more. Okay. What is bit_CH? Oh, I got it. I figured it out, Bubble Donkey. Wow, I'm a little slow over here. BTC is my want more and more. Got it. Which SMA got that? Covered that one, Johnny. Yep. Rise Evans, welcome back to the channel. Hey, Jesse, do you ever invest for long, holding ETFs, etc.? Do you just simply swing trade for consistent cash flow? I swing trade first and foremost. We do some longer term holds, longer term swing trades based off the weekly chart on some stocks. So yes, I do, but I use the weekly chart, and it's not just like a buy and hold for blindly, right? So I could see, like, if you're gonna, for example, if you're going to trade Apple and you're gonna be a longer term investor, right? Say this is what I would be kind of watching, right? So at the bottoms, we're talking about possible bullish divergence and reversals. There was a reversal candle in the weekly chart. So for me, if I was going to be doing the longer term holds, I would do it based off the weekly chart, me personally, right? So I would look, of course, I'd probably look for like a sniper entry on the daily chart because I want to get that. But there's a weekly chart reversal. Then you had candle closes back above, right? Buy signal, and then a nice rally, right? Multi-month rally, right? 6-month rally, whatever it was. Yeah, 6-month rally. And then as it's starting to break down, that's how I would play it as a longer term holder or investor, but not just to hold something blindly, right? I'm all swing trade, whether that's the daily chart, whether it's the 15-minute chart, the 1-hour chart, or the weekly chart. It's still a swing trader at heart, right? Hope that answers your question. Rise Evans. Lawrence Maddock, please. Okay. Are you still here, Lawrence? All right. We got some new comments too. Let's look at Maddock. I think we covered it yesterday as well, but that's okay. If you guys want me to cover, you're coming back to the channel on a regular basis. The list is getting so long. Oh, there it is. I'm going to have to start searching for it. So we've been covering Maddock based off of the requests. So overall, but we'll keep looking at it if you guys want to. We'll spend the time. We'll do it. So overall, we talked about that Ethereum was closing daily back below this blue line. So I put that there. We got this weekly support way back here at 38 cents, right? If it doesn't hold this support here, like we've got a weekly support at 51 cents. If it doesn't hold, then we could go back down to this area down here, right? It is currently bearish on the weekly chart, but there are some signs, right? So there are some signs. We do have, let's see. Nope, we don't have bullish divergence. RSI is at 35. It's still bearish, right? This could be another lower high, but we'll see. This was a lower low, a lower high. There is a MACD bullish crossover, but it doesn't mean prices couldn't go lower first, right? We know that. That's why it's called convergence and divergence, right? Let's look at the daily chart. Let's drop down a little bit lower time frame. We have another pending sell signal. So you had the buy signal, reversal after hit a target. It only hit one of the 4 targets. So whereas Ethereum hit 2 of the targets to the upside, Bitcoin hit 4 of the 4 targets and even higher on the targets. And Solana, I think, was at 3 or 4 targets as well. Mac only hit 1 target. So it's too early to say. It's currently bearish, This could be a lower high as of right now. RSI had that sell signal, right? Uh, MACD, where's the MACD at? Had the bearish crossover and is back below the zero line. So where are the strong support zones where I could look to close? Oh, it's still in shorts. Okay. Well, depending on the time frame as well, right? So you had a buy signal, and then is this going to be a sneaky higher low, right? It's too early to say. Let's kind of drop down to like the 8 hour, right? Is this going to be another lower high, right? It's too early to say. It's could be finding support at these trending dots, right? 52 cents. Is this going to be a higher low on the 8 hour chart, right? Too early to say. It's currently still bearish. It's still currently bearish on the weekly chart and still currently bearish on the daily chart with some signs of possibly turning around and with some possible signs of higher lows being put in, but even on the 4 hour chart, right? So maybe you want to drop down to like a 4 hour chart, and if it puts in another higher low, that's where you'd want to start to close out a position if it starts to close, if it starts to flip back around, right? So this is like, it just had a 4 hour sell signal. So you're watching it. It's still bearish as of right now, right? Still trending down even on the 2 hour chart. So that's what you're waiting and watching for, Lawrence. I hope that helps. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions. We're already at an hour and 16 minutes. Emmanuel, I'm going to do Solana for you. Longtime sniper. Thanks for returning back. Okay. Let's looking to do long. Weren't you just in a short? Looking to long, higher time frame, like weekly above, are trending upwards. Not bullish yet, but getting there along the initial breakout at 19. Oh, okay. You're at the initial 19. Okay, so you longed it. Okay, I was thinking you were in a short. Okay. So let's take a look at it. Let's zoom out on the weekly chart, right? Let's take a look. So Solana didn't hit 4 targets yet. It hit 3 targets to the upside, right? So 3 of the 4 targets, whereas Bitcoin hit 4 targets. So we did have that bullish MACD crossover on the weekly. The weekly is still early though, right? I would say use some caution here, but we did have this low back here at $10. We had a higher low back here with a reversal candle. We had a higher high, and it's looking like another higher low here, right? So we had a bullish MACD crossover. We had a buy signal here on the weekly chart. It's at 3 of the 4 targets so far, right? So are we going to see either this puts in a lower high, or the weekly closes back above it? It's hovering right there. So if you'd want to see a weekly close back above 54 to take out this high, and then ultimately another one at 58. Obviously, if you're swing trading on a lower time frames, you wouldn't be wanting to wait for that. I'm just saying to as confirmation that it could be a longer term play to the upside. But as of right now, let's see on the daily chart, he had the bearish MACD crossover, RSI sell signal, and then it's starting to flip back over. It's still early, right? So if you bought it around that $19, you had that buy signal, and then it started to break back up above. You're doing what you can to hold it and watching to see if it continues upward, right? So higher time frame, like above, trending upwards, not bullish yet, but getting there. Yeah, so I would even say that the weekly chart is currently bullish, right? And the daily chart is currently bullish. So this is what I'd watch though, right? As of right now, if this peak gets sold off before 75, right? And prices up here, it would put in bearish divergence on the daily chart. So that's what I'd kind of wait and watch for. Also, as of right now, this could be like a double wick top and it ends up just reversing back down. But you just had a MACD bullish crossover. RSI is trending upward. But if you see price make a higher peak and then RSI makes a lower peak here, then we're looking at possible bearish divergence, similar to the other one that I covered. I think it was RNDR. Could possibly be a situation where it puts in bearish divergence. We'll see. But you're going to try to push this trade as long as possible. And if you're pushing it, a mental kind of like stop loss, as we both know that it's trending upward. So if it's putting in bearish divergence and hitting higher targets, if price hits this fourth target similar to Bitcoin, are you taking profits at a key target area? And then are you watching this as a mental stop loss? If price starts to break back down from this trend line, when do you take profits? That's what we're continuing to watch. And I'm losing momentum. I'm losing steam on my energy here. Hope that helps, Emmanuel. Bitcoin had a golden cross, which is ultra bullish. Do you think that bullish crossover will keep pace from? So I cover this a lot. Tesla, John, in 2021, a bullish crossover. I pointed out a couple times a couple of years ago, had a bullish crossover, and it was, it does play a factor, but it could mean that further downside first, right? Similar to like a monthly MACD bullish crossover, could see lower prices first, but then the overall trend long term could, continue to be upwards longer term, but in the shorter term of a golden cross, it could see lower prices first, right? So I don't hold too much weight to it, but I've pointed out in the past where there's been golden crosses and the bulls got very excited and then price dropped, right? So I don't hold too much to it. I know people love to talk about golden crosses and the bearish golden cross, all that stuff, or the death cross, they call it golden cross or the death cross, right? Price can go the opposite way right afterwards because a lot of people think that, golden cross, so it means up guaranteed, and then a death cross, guaranteed price is going to go down. So it's a lagging indicator. It's a highly lagging indicator. So usually the move's already happened by then, and or it reverses back down. So Oasis Rose chart, please. Maybe I charted the wrong one. Johnny, yep. Got it. Okay. Looking at bounce off daily long. Okay. We talked about that. Thank you. You got it. Tag it by target by. Not sure what you're talking about, Wang. Let me know in the comments. Jesse, I'm curious if I'm looking in charts. How do you analyze this? Yeah, we might have to come back to it. I'm kind of losing steam here, energy-wise. Hour 22 minutes. Maybe we'll circle back here. Grant, I am back. Awesome. Don't forget your swim today, Grant. Welcome back, long-time sniper. Most crypto altcoins looking bad, but a few showing strength. Trade the chart in front of us. AG. Oh man, we got a lot of comments today, but I'm running out of water. I'm losing steam. How many replay crew here early? NVDA looking good. Mike G. Okay. What does that mean, Mike G? Let's see. Magnificent Seven. Oh, back down. Oh, okay. So you must be in a short position. Yes, I long sold, then close. All right. So let me see. All right. Let me try to get through the rest of these comments. Have your thoughts on Bitcoin's recent golden cross? Okay. Talked about that. Good morning, Jesse. I'm curious your opinion on AVAX. Tommy, thank you. Good morning to you. Thank you so much. Crypto Mike. Yep. Got to run. Thank you, Johnny C. Yes, I am. Whew, got a lot of requests today. Good morning, Luis. Welcome back, replay crew. Well, we're still live, Mike G. We're still live. You're catching up with the Tesla John. You got it. Yes, along slow. Okay, you got it. Capping out around 31 likes. Yeah, the replay crew is going to show up strong, though, Colson. It's okay. Replay crew is going to show up. We're going to get over 50 likes, possibly hit the 100 likes goal. And I think we can push through another 6 minutes. Let's do it. Okay, let's go back. Lawrence is still here. Okay, we got to go back to Lawrence. Oh, we did Matic. Okay, we did Matic. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oasis Rose. I mean, we covered Rose. We can cover it on tomorrow's live stream. Just remind me, Huang, if I did the wrong one, right? Let's see, Matic covered that one. All of those. XRP, most crypto altcoins looking good, but a few showing strength. Curious, AG, if you ever get back to if you ever track XRP. Yeah, XRP, I think is in the Sniper 20, Sniper 40, but Sniper Crypto 20. I think XRP is still on there. Yeah, we do watch it. It's on the list, right? Another one that didn't hit multiple targets to the upside, still currently bearish. It won the SE case, and what happened, right? You know, it's always news, it's always narrative, right? The one thing that I don't like about XRP, and I've never traded XRP for this reason, AG, I don't like pump and dumps, right? Like I feel like, here we are. Case in point. This is a 1-day pump and dump, right? I don't like trading that. I like trading things that are higher probabilities to take a little bit longer to play out, right? So I can catch all of that, right? Because it had the buy signal and went ultra bullish all in one candle. Good luck trading that, right? You're most likely getting in because of fear of missing out, and then you get wicked out. So for me personally, it's not a trade for me, right? If you're watching this like a hawk, you might have been able to get in and you might have been able to get out if it starts reversing back quickly. That's like catching lightning in a bottle. And I remember many YouTube accounts, many X app accounts. I remember many of them talking about $2.50 XRP. Many of them. I'm sure you can comment if you wanted to. The ones that I'm talking about, referring to, we're not going to call anyone out. I'm just letting you know, $2.50. And then I could tell you that there was bearish divergence here, right? I could tell you that it started to break back down and then the party was over, right? That's catching lightning in a bottle. Can you catch lightning in a bottle? Sure. But I would rather trade something else like Bitcoin and then just make up for a massive move like that. I mean, it was a massive move. There's no doubt about it. But a massive move, 100% gain, with leverage on Bitcoin. Bitcoin only needs to move 10% if you're using 10x leverage, right? So I feel more comfortable using 10x leverage Bitcoin and capturing, the same 100% type of move. That's just me. Good question, though. Let's see. What else? What else? What else? What else? Tommy, are you still here? AVAX. We can take a look at AVAX. Are you still here? Let me know. Let me know. I'm pretty sure AVAX is on this. I think we already looked at it. Let me just type it in. We didn't look at it today, but saw it on the watch list is what I mean. AVAX. Let's take a look. So I haven't even looked at this chart in a bit, but hit two targets, right? Target 1, target 2, and then started to reverse back down. So if you look at this, bearish MACD crossover, MACD is back below the 0 line. Looks like a lower high here, right? Two targets to the upside. Is it going to come back down and retest this area, $8.74? Ethereum did. Ethereum closed below 874 as it was moving back down. I'm curious your opinion on AVAX. So I'm not sure what opinion you're looking for other than it's near these lows, right? It hit two targets to the upside, a little bit higher. And let's look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart is still bearish, right? So there's no buys for me yet, right? Even these MACD bearish crossovers, when it's so bearish, it hasn't really meant anything, right? The bounces get smaller and smaller. Still bearish, still bearish. Crypto Mike, thank you so much. You got it. No problem. You got it. Thanks so much. Yep. Good morning. NVDA. Yep. Most likely Mike G's in the short. We know that. Manuel, thanks. Yep. Capping out. We're going to get more. We're going to get more closer. I believe yesterday was at 31 when we left, and it got up to around 50. Yep, it pumped up on the news, then retraced all the way back down. Yeah, that's the thing. What they are already in position. This is why I only can watch the charts, right? I only can watch the charts because the move is already, the positions already happened. So either relative strength is gaining or relative strength is losing, right? And then the pumps, and then the, all that stuff happens, and then then the news gets pushed out, right? So that's my thought. Jesse, what do you think about Savvy's too? I mean, I've called Savvy out on that. Uh, Perma Bear over there, Crypto Savvy. He does follow me. I do follow him. He does have some good charts. I know he's on YouTube and stuff like that. So you've got the Perma Bulls, right? Crypto Mike, and you got the Perma Bears. I prefer to be a swing trader, and $2,000 to $4,000 is always a possibility, right? I'm sure there's many naysayers that said when Bitcoin had the March 2020, quote unquote black swan, that it was breaking down weeks in advance, right? The black swan that no one saw coming, right? I'm sure many didn't think Bitcoin would go below $4,000. If you go take a look at the crash confirmed video or the market crash there, it would have to take like an overall market crash, like the dot-com bubble and or 2007, 2008, for me to think that Bitcoin would go all the way back down there. So I'm going to say the short answer is it's possible, right? But we're going to take it level by level. And $4,000 doesn't matter right now because it's good for clickbait. It's good for, if it ever happens, I told you so. And if it doesn't happen, well, XYZ happens, so it never happens, right? But $4,000 doesn't matter to me. It's just good clickbait right now, I'm sure. Until we revisit 24,000. And 24,000 doesn't matter until $28,000. We lose 28,000, right? And then 10,000 doesn't matter until we lose 24, and 4,000 doesn't matter until we lose $10,000 level, right? So it doesn't really matter. It's the same thing as when in 2022, if you put out $100,000 that we could see Bitcoin hit $100,000 in 2021. I thought Bitcoin was going to go above $100,000 in 2021. It never did. It came up short, right? It only reached 65,000 ish, right? But in 2022, when we were in a bear market, that was when we were in a bull run. In a bear market, people calling for $100,000 is still the equivalent of calling for 4,000. 2023, people again calling for $100,000 Bitcoin. We're still in a bear market, and there was even calls for $1 million Bitcoin in quarter one. It's the same clickbait. They got a ton of traction on it, and we're going to continue to chug along and call the markets as is because we do this with actual real money. So that's my thoughts on it. I know it's a long rant. You got a long rant out of me today. I don't even know if you're still here, Crypto Mike. Yeah, I bought before the news release and sold at 85. Oh, good for you, AG. You animal. So do you view other alts like you described? There's definitely some, but it seems like XRP is notorious for that. So I don't know. I've seen a lot more pump and dumps on XRP over the last couple of years than other ones. Maybe some smaller altcoins, but as far as like the bigger name ones, XRP seems like, I don't know, just off my memory, and I haven't done any real back testing or data on it, just from visual tests, visual eyeball tests. It seems like XRP is one of them, and so it's not for me, but doesn't mean you couldn't catch lightning in a bottle like you did. Awesome. Congratulations. All right, so any other ones? ICP. This one might be tough to look up. Crypto Mike, ICP/Jasmy. Maybe we'll come back to that when I got some more energy. If you really want to see this one, let me know in the comments and I'll come back. Give this channel a like. It takes just 1 second. You got it. Thanks, Mike. All right, Mike. Hey, with comments like that, my man, do you still want to see ICP slash Jasmy? Let's take a look at it. ICP. Let me know if this is the right one. Hey, if you're in my corner, I'm in your corner. What is it? Which one did you do? Is this right? JSMY. Which asset are you looking at? Let's see. Oh, I forgot A. I forgot A. There we go. Okay, so is it this one? Tether? Right? Possibly? That's not pulling up. I don't know. We'll come back to it. We'll take a look at it. Okay. All right, let's take a look at it. Crypto. Then we got Jasmy. All right, we'll take a look at it. You caught me. Weekly chart is still bearish, right? This is the last line of defense, probably. This is support here at 0.003, still bearish. Could continue to put in this long-term bullish divergence. Not a lot of chart history, though, really, on this one, on Binance. And really, it kind of like, it's one of those pump and dump, even like the Coinbase, right? You know, when it IPO'd at 36 cents, right? When Coinbase IPO'd, it just went into a bear market right afterwards, right? So this one got listed on Binance Exchange at 36 cents and it's been bearish ever since, right? So there really hasn't even been any awesome opportunities. Maybe you caught this bounce here, right? Maybe you caught this bounce, but it's been in a bear market since day one, right? So not much for me to talk about there on the weekly chart. Daily chart still bearish. Already took out this low here in August. So is it going to come back down to this weekly level as well? It's too early to say, but it's still currently bearish on the daily chart, bearish on the weekly chart. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I got you. All right. Well, I think that's about it. We're an hour and 37 minutes. Thanks for everyone for your support, continued support. We're going to continue to move forward, swing trading these charts, blocking out the noise, blocking out the narratives, blocking out the news. We're going to continue to sniper the markets together. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I got to get ready for Wes Diddy's birthday lunch. Got to give him a birthday lunch for today. One of my boys, he's in here supporting me. Awesome. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you tomorrow on the next live stream.